You read that title correctly. We threw a no-hitter to make World Series. So today I just have some gameplay breakdown footage for you guys. As a matter of fact, I recorded 3 games. You're gonna see my entire World Series run, the final 3 games from 850 to 900. Let me know in the comments how you feel about these voiceover style videos. I do them from time to time. Since over the weekend I wasn't really feeling that well, I couldn't do the commentary aspect. I had to play the games because the season ends today. We're doing a voiceover. Also, real quick before we hop in, those of you that like to snipe my penny auctions on eBay, the link to my eBay's in the description box down below. I have another wave of penny auctions going up this week. Topps Chrome Black Rookie Auto Andrew Vaughn numbered to 150. Young Phenom Luis Rodriguez, the 19-year-old, is the Bowman First Chrome Refractor Auto numbered to 499. New Bowman Draft just came out. This is hot product. Cade Cavalli Sterling Auto. Yu Chang Panini Contenders Rookie Auto. This is numbered to 15. Pretty much everything that I pull comes out of boxes for videos I recorded on YouTube. So I've already made my money back on those boxes. I just sell stuff because, you know, a lot of this stuff are actually really cool product, and if I'm not collecting it personally, it might as well go out there to somebody who is maybe collecting that individual player or team or looking for something that I have. Here we go. We started off this run at an 856 rating in ranked. So in my head, I knew that we were going to have to win 3 games unless we played all 3 games up in ranked. Game 1 was Parallel 5 versus Parallel 5. Jacob DeGrom. Look how purple this man's uniforms are. It's insane. Skipping into the second inning, 2 ground balls to start this inning off. Nice play by Trey Turner, who I had at third base on this run. We plugged Trey Turner. I wanted to get Mookie Betts in my lineup. I've been hot with him. So we put Mookie on second, slid Trey Turner over to third since we have Tatis at shortstop, pitching really well there in the second inning. And then in the bottom of the second, we got Tatis up here with 1 on. I believe we actually reached on a drop third strike here, and then Tatis at a 1-1. I just knew he was going to come inside with the fastball because I was late on the fastball away, and we turned on it. PCI was actually a little bit off there, but he rage quit before the ball even landed, and we got a quick, easy W in game 1 on our first hit of the game in the bottom of the second. That put us at an 875 rating. I thought about jumping into this next game with a pitcher who was slightly down on energy like Justin Verlander, but I landed on Clayton Kershaw instead, and we got matched up with Parallel 4 Freddie Peralta. So first at bat of the game, Mookie Betts 1-0. I was kind of hoping this game was on Legend because that would have meant my opponent was in World Series and I could have gotten more points, but we were on Hall of Fame difficulty here. He started the game with a Mookie Betts triple. I tried to be as particular as I could with Hank Aaron, really nibbling at the corners. We get it to a 2-2, and then I quick pitched the curveball. Thought I got him out ahead there. We did not. And then we dot a fastball. We had to freeze him with the heater. He had a great at-bat there with Hank Aaron, and then Ken Griffey Jr. with 1 out. Does sneak a ground ball through the infield to give him a 1-0 lead. Bad matchup here. Frank Thomas on Clayton Kershaw. 0-1 count. We got him to chase a fastball on his chin. Somehow he almost hit it out. Frank Thomas is 6'8". We still got it up near the eyeballs, and he still almost got it out of the ballpark. He takes his 1-0 lead into the bottom of it. We immediately get that run back because, of course we do. Trey Turner, 0-1. Second pitch we see from Freddie Peralta. 107 off the bat for Trey Turner to make it 1-1. Start the game with a perfect, and then immediately first pitch to Bryce Harper. Bang! Back-to-back perfects to start this game. It is 1-1 with a runner on and nobody out. Mike Trout, though, missed that sinker down. I pushed my PCI a little bit. Brings up Mickey Mantle. Thought we got a base hit up the middle there. We would have easily gone first to third with Harper because the outfield was deep. But Mickey Mantle, he makes the play up the middle. He hit it right off Freddie Peralta's leg, and he scooped it up and made the play. We strand 1, but we tie the game. And then top second, the ball is still flying off the bat early in this game. In my head, I'm thinking, man, this could be a slugfest. Line drive to lead it off. Then he strikes out with Salvador Perez. And this is where we really started to lock in on the mound with Clayton Kershaw after that line drive to right field. We get the strikeout on Salvi. Then we get a strikeout on Trey Turner. And immediately in the bottom of the second, we get another perfect. Our third of the game already. Puts a runner on. 2 batters later, Mookie Betts. I try and steal that bag, but we're out. We got absolutely hosed right there. Tried to go hit and run, missed the pitch, and of course, we end up working a walk with Mookie Betts, so we would have gotten second base for free anyway if I was just patient. Mookie Betts gets on, but 2 outs, Clayton Kershaw comes up, and Clayton Kershaw drops it in the gap. We move the third on the hit. We have runners on the corners now with 2 outs. Trey Turner has already homered in this game. Clayton Kershaw giving him a chance to hit his second no-doubt of the game. Another hanger, this time the slider. That ball was annihilated. Clayton Kershaw picks us up after I blow an opportunity. We give him a free out, extends the inning with Clayton Kershaw, and then Trey Turner extends the lead. But in the top of the third with 2 outs, our opponent does get a run back, hits a homer on a great pitch, might add. Slider was 4 inches off the plate, golfed it out to left field, then puts down a bunt with Ken Griffey Jr., and that works. And right there, boom, in the matter of 3 pitches, he's got all the momentum in the world, and he can tie this game with Frank Thomas. 1-2 count, 2 outs. He moves that runner up into scoring position, so he can make it a 1-run game on any base hit from Frank Thomas, but he couldn't hold up his swing. Swings over top of that curveball for strike 3. He gets 1 on the homer, but he strands a second one. Sinker missed out over the plate. That's one of the pitches right there. You can just know that my opponent was penalized for missing. We did not have a great swing there. 94 exit velo. We were a little bit underneath of it, a little bit on the late side, but Mookie sneaks it over the wall the other way. And then Clayton Kershaw is going to come up and get his second hit of the game. So now Clayton Kershaw has 2 hits. He's in scoring position for Trey Turner, who already has 2 home runs in this game. And he's up once again with 2 outs following a Clayton Kershaw hit, but didn't get that run on the sinker. Straight 4-seam. I was underneath of it. We pop it up on the infield. We just get 1 in the bottom of the 4th. We'll take a 3-run lead into the 5th. We get a strikeout on the check swing. Then Freddie Peralta, who stays in the game for whatever reason, flies out to center field. And then Mookie Betts is going to ground out on the right side of the infield for the 3rd out of the inning. We didn't do anything in the bottom of the 5th, jumping straight into the top of the 6th. 0-1 fly ball to center. Now we got Griffey, 0-2 lefty-lefty. For whatever reason, he tries to put a bunt down lefty-lefty in a 2-strike count. And it was at that point I kind of figured this guy had chalked it up right there. Frank Thomas then rolls over the first pitch of his at-bat, and our opponent pulls the plug. Ejectocito, cuz! Game over, but we're at 891. So at this stage, I'm like, all right, we just won 2 games relatively easily. I'm not hitting the ball too well. Trey Turner's red hot. We had that home run with Tatis. I was off the PCI. Our Mookie Betts home run, we were off the PCI. I've been a little inconsistent, but we found a way to win. We're pitching extremely well. We're 1 game from World Series, and our last 2 wins are against players that were actually below us in ranked. So naturally, I'm expecting to play above. I'm expecting to play in World Series, and I'm expecting to have to win a game on Legend to get in here. That was my mindset. So since we're going to be on Legend, I'm thinking we got to get the highest hits per 9 we possibly can, really shrink our opponent's PCI. The only pitcher I had full energy anyway, other than Justin Verlander, was Oral Hershiser. So it was between Verlander and Hershiser, and I landed on Oral Hershiser and his 125 hits per 9 sinker cutter 5-pitch mix. Pretty smart idea. Here's the gameplay. I will note, though, the secret to every no-hitter in ranked seasons is not hitting well on your own part. My opponent, I will say early, pitched a gem with Corbin Burnes in this game. We do rack up a fair share of hits in this game, but he just does a great job with runners on, doesn't let me get 2 in a row. We just couldn't work any sort of rally in this game. But as you can see early, we were working the sinker and the cutter to perfection. We were getting the slider and the curveball in there. Early in the game, I tried to use the off-speed pitch to get ahead, and then I was working the sinker and the cutter for out pitches. As you're going to see later in the game, I'm going to start doing the opposite. You'll see sinker, cutter early, and then the off-speed late. But early on, as you can see here, Corey Seager 0-1 gets that slider in, and then we go to the sinker up to try and get that out pitch with 2 strikes. And I do this intentionally because, at least me, I know myself when I jump into a game, I'm trying to get a read on my opponent and see what he's working with and see where he's going. So I intentionally pitch a little bit different than I want to later in the game so that he doesn't know what to expect later on. And it works for us there. We do get the walk there, so perfect game out the door in inning number 1, but we get the pop-up to end the inning. And then in the second, we start things off with a strikeout. Mark Canha comes up, swings over a slider for strike 3. And then we get Michael Conforto up here. Cutter backdoor gets us to 2-1. He had us 2-0 again. I will say my opponent was extremely patient in this game. I don't think he was very comfortable on Legend. I mean, obviously, he ends up getting no hit here. He wasn't comfortable on Legend, but his rating was at 903, so this was his first game in ranked seasons this season on Legend, and he just was not prepared for it. This was my big thing. I could not stop hitting singles. Trey Turner with 2 outs is going to get a base hit up the middle. Then Bryce Harper comes up. He is well right on top of the sinker, sneaks it through the infield for another single. And with 2 outs, Mike Trout's going to come up. It's 2-2 here. We checked our swing on that changeup We're going to get a sinker here that I just read cutter out of the hand, pushed the PCI a little bit too much, and we got on top of that one. He grounds out to third. So first opportunity we squandered was in the third inning where we had back-to-back hits, had a 2-out rally going, couldn't come through. Bottom half, we get a strikeout of Grandal. Corbin Burns hits for himself. He's going to pop up. And then Ken Griffey Jr. with 2 outs. Again, gets ahead 2-0. My one critique of my opponent in this game, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1. He was a little bit too patient in those counts. Maybe that had to do with the fact that I just really wasn't missing out over the plate. My missed pitches were off the plate, and then my good pitches were right where I wanted them to, like that sinker right there. So, but in my opinion, he worked a lot of really good counts in this game and then didn't try to attack strikes. That was the one thing he could have done in the middle innings of this game, as you'll see as we move along here. This was a great at-bat from Ken Griffey Jr., but I'm really just not giving him too much to hit. And at this point, I was really persistent with this sinker. And I know it looks like I probably spammed that pitch there, but until that at-bat, I was throwing a lot of off-speed to try and get that strikeout. So I just overwhelmed him with the sinker there and a really long at-bat to end the third. And we get the strikeout in the third inning and start things off. Manny Machado comes up. Again, another full count here. Taking a lot of pitches. That's a beautiful curveball. Looked like a strike all the way in. The curveball is, I think on Legend difficulty, is the only difficulty where you really get a good break and a good read on that curve, good usage out of that curveball. And All-Star and Hall of Fame, that thing hangs so bad. It's a little bit too slow on those difficulties, but 2 strikes, Corey Seager in, another 3-2 count, and once again, we just overwhelm him with the sinker. The third and fourth inning, we went sinker for strikeouts. In the first 2 innings, it was off speed. We've been mixing it up so far in this game. Skipping ahead 2 innings here to the 5th. This was my dry spell in this game. We hit a lot of balls hard in this one. Innings 3 through 6 is where we couldn't get anything going. 1, 2, 3 inning in the top of the 5th. Down to the bottom of the 5th where Francisco Lindor leads it off with another strikeout, just picking corners with that sinker. The one ball he hit well was the cutter away. Righty, cutter away. He had that fly ball. I think he has another deep fly ball later in this game on that cutter away. He almost put one over the wall a few times on that pitch. Swings over the curveball there for strike 3. Now the top of the 6th. Trey Turner leading it off. 1-2. Check, swing, strikeout. This is a point in the game where I'm like, all right, we have the top of the order coming up. Third time through the lineup. We have got to get something going here. Check, swing, strikeout on Trey. Bryce Harper hits a moonshot foul, and then he as well strikes out on the check swing. I was very frustrated at this point in the game. Another 2-out single from Mike Trout, followed up by a ground out from Babe Ruth. So my last 3 hits in this game, 3 out of our 4 hits in this game are 2-out singles. You're not going to do a whole lot with that, especially on Legend difficulty. It's hard to string hits together. We got to get runners on early. We got to do some damage. We got to get something up over the wall, because at this point, we have a no-hitter in the 6th inning, yet I feel like I can lose this game on just any one miss, and that made it extremely difficult to pitch here down the stretch. In the 7th, though, this swing right here is where I just said to myself, okay, all over that changeup with Mickey Mantle, just chopped it right at the first baseman, but PCI was good. Tatis comes up next. It's 0-1. He's been working that outside to the righties the last few innings, and finally, we get a pitch elevated. We put the PCI on it, and Tatis delivers out to right. The 7th inning, we finally cracked the scoreboard. We hit more than a single, finally, in the 5th inning, or the 6th, 7th inning on our 5th hit of the game, and then we immediately follow that up with another base hit, another single, backdoor cutter. We knocked that up the middle with Kyle Schwarber. Mookie Betts then comes in, 1-2 count. Beautiful sinker right there, just jams us. No way you're getting 2 on Mookie Betts, but that will bring up Oral Hershiser, who I decided to hit for. We had a no-hitter going, but this guy just more struggling with the sinker-cutter mix. We got a couple guys in the bullpen I feel like we could replicate Oral Hershiser's mix with, so I want to take advantage of this base runner. We brought Juan Soto out to hit, trying to get some extra runs in the 7th. We got to get 9 outs to win this game, but an insurance run would feel like, just the way this game's been played, and 1 extra insurance run is going to feel like an awful lot for him. We work it all the way to full with 2 outs and then a nice sinker away. If that's a backdoor cutter, we would have did damage, and we hit that ball pretty hard anyway, but right at the shortstop. So we get a Blake Trinan out of the pen. We immediately get a strikeout on Chipper Jones, and that was a brutal swing. Manny Machado then comes up, goes down looking at a front door cutter, and then Seager swings through a sinker. Like, I mean, that mix, the fact that Blake Trinan, guys like Trinan and Mariano Rivera are going to come out and throw a sinker even heavier than Oral Hershiser. I really liked my bullpen's matchup. I didn't want to force Oral Hershiser deep into this game. He was already at 90 pitches at the point I took him out of the game. Another opportunity, top 8. Trey Turner gets on, steals second. Bryce Harper strikes out on a beautiful slurve. And then Mike Trout, there was your pitch to hit. A chance to make it a 3-0 game. I was just out in front of that pitch. 108 off the bat. And then a 1-2 count to Trout, cutter in. Beautiful mix here from Aaron Loop. We missed our pitch this at-bat. That cutter that hung out over the plate because he just ends up dotting the rest of the way through here. Another sinker away just off the black. We're going to run 1-2 once again. Any base hit will score Trey Turner in this situation, but we got swing happy there, and he knew it. Dropped the slider off the dirt. Brings up Babe Ruth with 2 outs and in a 1-2 count. He just blew that sinker right on by me. So our 1-run lead is going to have to suffice. Still, the combined no-hitter is still going into the 8th. Andrew Miller out of the pen, so I can throw more sinkers and sliders on this guy. We blow a fastball by Ketel Marte for strike 3. He came off the bench, maxed out against lefties. That was a scary matchup. And then lefty-lefty on Michael Conforto. He strikes out on the slider. Into the 9th, hits are 7-0. We have a solo shot and 6 singles at this point in the game, and our opponent has nothing. 2 walks, nothing to show for it, and a lot of strikeouts. We bring up Jimmy Fox, comes off the bench for Kyle Schwarber there to hit against Aroldis Chapman, but we end up going out on another check swing strikeout. And bottom 9, here we go. We need 3 outs to win the game. His Jimmy Fox, he goes ahead, did the same thing we did. Brought Jimmy Fox out on the matchup there, struck out. Then he gets the ground out to first base. So he's down to his final batter, his final out. It's Ken Griffey Jr. in a 1-2 count. We missed down with the changeup, and I'm just going to let the rest of the at-bat play.
Just hung in there on that one. Swing and a miss, and he's got it. A no-hitter.
Yeah, you know what's amazing? A combined no-hitter is even more rare than a complete game no-hitter. So it's not something you see every day or every year for that matter. And that's what you call a total team effort.
That was amazing, man. I've actually I haven't thrown an online no-hitter since like MLB 18 because people always quit. It's like impossible to throw a no-hitter online. You don't get through 5 or 6 innings of no-hit ball without your opponent quitting. So I just went ahead right after the game. I opened up that World Series pack. I grabbed Mike Trout. Billy Wagner's the 1 card in this pack I don't have. I'm gonna go ahead and pick him up off the marketplace. I can still get Mike Trout for $1 million on a sell order, so I decided to do that since I already have him. And then I can just go ahead and once I get the 1,000,000 stubs for Trout, buy Billy Wagner, and I technically have every single card in the game for the final 2 months of the year until MLB 22 comes out. I am pumped. I had a ton of fun making this video, man. Considering I was sick when I was playing, I'm not mad at how I played. 3 straight dubs to get the win, and we won on Legend against a World Series player, throwing a no-hitter to get it done. It's so hard to throw a no-hitter online. People quit. I am hype about this. I'm excited.
Cause you proved to me that rising to the top was my destiny. And you can see whatever from behind.